Alex from IGN, and over the course of the last month, we've been going through IGN's favourite games of all times, personal favourites of our editors. Now, today it is the turn of Daniel Krupa. Now, Daniel, what is your favourite game of all time?
I think the TV gives it away. It's Resident Evil 4.
Why Resident Evil 4?
There's loads of reasons why. I could probably talk about Resident Evil 4 for quite a long time. First off, I think it's a really interesting game. I love the kind of story behind it. It's a game they kind of remade 4 times. There were aborted versions. The first iteration went on to become Devil May Cry.
Right.
There were 2 more versions that they made, almost like 40-50% completion, and then scrapped. And then it's like this game was struggling to be born, and eventually this came out. Shinji Mikami oversaw it, and he made it with a team that, you know, must have been pretty demoralised disheartened after making 3 games and to have them thrown away. And they made it with the pressure of knowing that if it didn't do well, if it wasn't critically well received, Resident Evil might be over as a series. And they went on to probably make, I think, one of the best games ever made. Certainly one of the best action games ever made, I think. Which in itself created a bigger problem for Resident Evil, because I don't think it's ever been able to be that good again. Right. So they might have saved the series, but I think they doomed it at the same time.
So are there any particular points in the game that are highlights for you that distill what is so great about Resident Evil 4?
It's always changing, and it's always escalating. So it kind of ditches a lot of the conventions of the original series. Like, I'm a bit of a horror fan, and this is kind of a bit more James Cameron Aliens to Ridley Scott's Alien, with its relation and the way it tackles its horror. It changes the perspective, and when you first get to the village and the kind of vaguely Spanish, Central European natives come to greet you, and they descend on you in a mob, that is like seared on my memory.
It's just been that moment,
truly terrifying and panic-inducing in a way that the original Resident Evil was kind of tense and suspenseful, and things would make you jump. This kind of induced a feeling of panic that I've never had in a game, where you were kind of barricading yourself in a house. Or another one when you saw the guy with the Hessian bag over his head, and you're like, what's he doing? And he turns around and just runs at you with a chainsaw. What the hell are you meant to be doing? It's truly terrifying. And there's so many elements of it. You can tell it's been such a seminal game. There's so many elements that have lived on. And games have kind of inherited the over-the-shoulder perspective, the zoom into aim, quick time events. I don't think they've ever been as good as they are in Resident Evil 4. So they work in the context of this game, whereas they've probably ruined other games that have come after, because they've just not been that good. There's loads of other memories, like the item guy, the guy who sells you stuff, the what are you buying, what are you selling. That's so weird that he's everywhere, and he's like so broadly comical. Like, it's not a narratively sophisticated game, because it's like loads of B-movie tropes, but what's at its heart is this brilliant action game that's always escalating. So whether it's the first boss, where you're the Del Lago, where you're on a little boat, and it's kind of like the end of Jaws, where you've got to throw a harpoon at it, and the sense of kind of scale of how tiny you are and how huge this creature is, and that's the first boss in the game. It's like, bloody hell, where's it going to go from here? And it's always changing. You get to the castle, it changes again. You get to the laboratory at the end, it changes. And then it even ends with you on a jet ski.
So it's like, all great games should do that.
And, you know, I've got so many great memories of replaying it, but I think it's one of my favourite games, because it came out in January 2005. And I just started university a few months beforehand, and I didn't take a console to uni. I was making friends for the first time in my life.
Wow. And I think it gives this insight into your life.